Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Motherland Fort Salem, Season 2, Episode 4, Not Our Daughters, which I guess is the response to the testing programme. Though, if you're a witch, and that's the way it's always been, tough luck, I suppose, unless you get rid of conscription. That might even help the story's message. I don't know. Words. I am very excited to watch this episode. I'm getting to it a day late because yesterday was my mum's birthday, so I quickly did Loki and then I enjoy the rest of the day with her. But I am excited to get back to our girls. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. And let's go.
Your true greatness awaits. Destiny calls upon each of us to protect this great nation in her own way.
If you're a witch, you don't have a choice.
I found my voice.
Good bit of propaganda.
Find yours.
I'm scared. How's Abigail?
I was on my way to the mess to get some tea with honey if you want to come along.
You two need to talk.
This has been made clear to me. I'm responsible for the rest of the Tarim having died.
Look, if that's how you took what I said, I didn't.
But you're still sorry.
You need to
Might not be
apologise.
entirely wrong. So helping the survivors get settled is the least I can do.
Oh. He is changing his views on their way of life, which is sad, but... Oh, Abigail.
Would have had your episode even if I had been there, right? And you wouldn't have had yours if you just come along
Oh. My loves.
I would have just pushed myself too hard after you bunked down.
Your sisters.
Say that Older wasn't there at the martyrdom, but I know she was. I saw her there.
Yep, it's dangerous.
Scylla Ramshorn should be wasting away in San Dominique right now. My orders on that were abundantly clear.
Yes, but maybe you're not the only person that matters.
Hearing tests to identify witches.
At least now with the testing centers, we stand a chance of finding our sisters first.
Yep.
So you work for Petra now?
You set the bar for breaking protocol pretty high. Before the Tarim mission, you did what you had to do to make sure President Wade saw things your way.
Yep.
Thought them your way and said them your way.
Yep, it's dangerous to question Older.
Speak freely.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, this won't be the first time she's had her authority questioned.
We need their leadership identified and
So you're using what they're doing now.
This is Petra's operation.
and it's my army.
Okay. Glad we're still not a democracy. She does have a lot of pressure on her shoulders, Older, but she does not always make correct decisions. And I'm very stressed about when she figures out Tally knows things that are secret.
But I won't be a party to it. This isn't the military.
Stealing a picture. So you're okay with other people's daughters, just not your daughters, okay.
I have no doubt that this will bring us closer together than we've ever been.
Yes.
Thank you.
The background noise of Not Our Daughters definitely helps with that. Thing is, there would be this outcry because there's definitely the like Camarilla and the anti-witch sentiment would be building. Conscription is just plain wrong. Yep, and they're being shipped in by the Camarilla, no doubt. Oh god. It's natural this place would be a target. They must be prepared, surely. Oh god.
You just invited us to keep your mom from bugging you about Gregoria, didn't you? Can you blame me?
Well, I'm really starting to dig into the
Oh.
martyrdom of the rebels. Oh, I heard she was. Fighting alongside a soldier named Batan, who would have been in your classes before your
Tally, be careful, my love.
Information.
She's been reading so many books, it's hard to say.
They protect each other.
Great. Just keep failing at absolutely everything.
No, you don't, my love.
Did Tally fail with Garrett? Did I fail with Scylla? We definitely didn't win. Okay.
True.
Well, what I'm trying to say is
I love them.
for having gone through what she did with Garrett. And I'm stronger for having experienced Scylla. You'll come out stronger from Adele too.
You
That
will.
convince you two are done.
Exactly, me neither. And if you are done, you will ultimately come out stronger. The Camarilla guy saw their faces, didn't he? At least she's not hiding it. She's coming.
Mind on the mission.
Conscription is wrong, but if witches who are known about it have to do it, then witches who aren't known about it have to do it too. It's so funny because Still is so anti-conscription, but
First idea what to do with her.
Do with me?
oh,
I'm not some broken toy. I'm your daughter.
exactly. Nothing's changed.
But I'm different now, right? No more about who I'm really supposed to be.
Who you're supposed to be is my daughter.
I am.
Nothing's changed there.
I'm a witch.
Yeah,
I can't accept
exactly.
that. And you're no better than the protesters waiting for us at the center.
Exactly.
He's not chanting, but he's not leaving.
No.
It's like he's waiting for something.
He is.
We need to go. No.
You did it, my love.
Our first prospective recruit. Please show
Oh.
her respect.
This poor woman.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
They're getting bolder and I love them. Well, you're the ones who burnt the American flag. Oof.
Absolutely sure there's no such thing as a false positive.
Not everyone's going to want to be conscripted, even more so when they're not born into the life.
I've always felt like I was
Oh.
different. Now it all makes sense.
Maybe it is a good thing then if they felt like there's a bit of them missing. I love that then.
So much.
They deserve to know the truth. I'm stressed.
I blamed him for the death of the dream.
Oh.
That's why he didn't stay.
Shit, he couldn't control that. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
You push away things that are good for you.
I need to leave now and you're coming with me.
Yo, I'm the face of this entire thing.
Oh, she believes so much.
For everyone involved if I run.
Running and falling back are not the same thing.
No, but it looks the same to the people you leave behind.
Penny,
Penelope. I'm scared something's going to happen to her.
there is nothing that I can
And that's going to lead him evil.
So please,
Even more than he already is.
let me protect you, Dave.
Abigail, it's me, Raelle.
That doesn't sound like Alder.
That's because it isn't.
Is it Chauvel's vocal cords? You know she's dead, my love.
Raelle?
Oh, stressed. Don't. No, my love, no. You know it's not.
For what?
To finish what we started at the wedding.
So brave, aren't you, having like 10 of you against one person? You've got this, my darling. That'll. Oh, fuck.
Some of your daughters may be called, but they will be in great company.
Mm-hmm.
And they will do things that they never thought were possible.
Oh.
Told me, please stand back.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What was that? What was that? What was that? What is happening? Where's Abby? Are they going to say it was a witch attack because it felt like a witch attack rather than a bomb? Oh. Good girl. You were strong, my darling, okay? Because you've got impossible odds here and you are still standing. Oh my god, oh my god. Yes, yes, yes. Oh. girls. She really thought she was about to die. She's gonna find Scylla. Oh fuck. Oh my goodness. Because how is that going to lead her to question how Scylla could have got that picture?
Do you really think you're Scylla?
I'm so glad they don't keep secrets anymore.
You've been sedated.
Should have used stronger medicine.
Yeah.
You okay? Not really. The camera came. I walked right into their trap.
Just because you're feeling emotionally vulnerable at the moment, my love.
Because I failed at saving her.
You didn't, darling.
Abigail, don't put that on yourself.
I love them so much.
It doesn't matter. She said we didn't have to worry about the camera.
I know.
She told me to let it go. One night after another, huh?
They spend too much time in this infirmary.
There's always someone else's life she's playing with.
Oh. Tally was so... Oh my goodness, Tally. She was so briefly pro-Elder after their experience, but Alder mucks up time and again. And she always gets to live. She gets to suck the life out of young women over and over again. Is she going to go and confront Alder herself? Oh, Tally, you are brave and I adore you.
No more lies.
Oh. I adore you with my whole heart. But I'm stressed. This show is one of my absolute favourites right now. It is so good. I have been stressing ever since Tally started having dreams about things Alder didn't want people to know. Like, oh no, what if Alder finds out? Did not expect Tally to march right in there and demand it of her, but then at the end of the day I should have done. Because Tally is fearless and strong and confident and she should go right to the source. Alder, I don't think would just like kill her or anything. I don't think she will necessarily just strike out at this stage, especially when she thinks maybe she can sell the narrative. Though she's not going to be happy that Tally is getting her memories as dreams. I am scared about what this is going to mean going forwards, but I am so proud of Tally in everything she does. She is still my favourite, but I love Abigail and Raelle more than I love favourite characters in some other shows. Like, they are my girls, but Tally is, she stole my heart very quickly. So yeah, she knows that the martyrdom was actually a murder. They'd surrendered. It wasn't them being, didn't martyr themselves, they were murdered. And it's been so successfully covered up. And this is yet another instance of Alder changing the narrative to fit what she wanted to. Now, I think this time I can understand, because while I think maybe telling people about the Camarilla would help them stay protected, because I imagine like the average witch family at home isn't, you know, even like the matriarchal places like Tally grew up, they're not on high alert, they're not looking out for anything. Were the Camarilla to decide to start attacking non-active witches in their homes, they'd be sitting ducks with no idea. But at the same time, it would just create fear and feed into the Camarilla, help their campaigning and their marketing and their recruitment. So I do understand why she's keeping it a secret now, but I think there's only so far you can do that, and it's part of a legacy of lies. I don't think Alder is evil, and I don't think Alder thinks she's doing anything wrong. I think Alder thinks she is the best person for the job. She's the only person who can do this because she's the only person that has the knowledge she has, and so she has to do this. But I think while it's an army and like military structures, you do have people at the top. I think there should be a council of people at the top, and I've said that since the beginning. I know they have the Hague, but that's kind of more of a diplomatic thing as well. Alder shouldn't be the only person at the very top. Generals who have worked their way up, like Petra, they should get to be on there too. Like the scientist ladies should be on there too. But anyway, I'm stressed about what Tally's going to do, and I think it's really good that they didn't. I was kind of worried that they were going to have throughout this season Tally just being kind of, oh, Alder's so wonderful and perfect, because she'd been linked to her, and because as a biddy she'd kind of felt what she felt, and therefore she kind of had the influence of Alder's Alderness. And you know, when they disconnected, she was saying, you know, I'm always going to miss you, like, I wish I was with you kind of thing. But I'm glad that Tally, with time, that feeling has kind of died down. And while I don't think I think the fact that she has gone to face Alder kind of shows that Tally still has that sense of, this isn't just a crazy person who's going to murder me for knowing too much, you know, this is someone that I can get answers from. That is still the impact of the fact that she's been so heavily connected to her, but she's also standing up for herself and for the truth, because that is something Tally believes in. Tally has always been, you know, she signed up when she didn't have to. She's been so desperately loyal to the army and to the ideas of the army, and I believe she, Raelle and Abigail have found the truth of that, the bond of the army, how it can make you stronger, but they have also seen firsthand the darker sides, and Alder has many dark sides. I'm very stressed about how that's going to end. Abigail, my heart is breaking for so much. I kind of thought when they first found, in the second episode I believe it was, when they found out that it was just Raelle, it wasn't her, and Tally was having her special connection with Alder, combined with just having her unnaturally talented ability, well naturally, but you know, her extra special ability with the sight, you know, that is a strength she has beyond what others have, that in that moment Abigail would feel less than. Abigail would feel as though she had to prove herself, and we saw that in the last episode. And in this episode, you know, she ruined her relationship with Adil kind of on purpose. She said something she didn't really mean, or even if she meant it, it's not something you would ever say. It's not something that it's sort of true but also not true. Had they been not pacifists, yes, they could have fought back, but then they wouldn't have been themselves and they wouldn't have stood up for their traditions, and you know, it's a messy, complex thing. I kind of hope at some point, at the very least, she gets a chance to sit down and have a conversation with him about it, to sort of say that, I shouldn't have said that, I didn't mean it like that, I don't think it's your fault. You know, yeah, it's probably true that if you don't think, like, I think they could have a conversation about it rather than just sort of him being very upset with her and her not wanting to apologise, or not knowing how to apologise when she kind of thinks it's a bit true. I don't know. If there's going to be any future in that relationship, that is what they're going to need to do, and I do hope they do it at some point, just because Abigail deserves that. And if it is the end of the relationship, Abigail deserves that closure. Even if she kind of messed up by saying something a bit cruel, she still deserves the proper closure of the relationship rather than leaving everything open up in the air. And she is not a failure. Yes, she didn't save Charvel, but Charvel was long dead by the time she got there, and they were lying in wait for anyone else that came, any bellwethers that came to get her. She couldn't have saved Charvel. If she failed in saving Charvel, then so did every other witch present that day, and she would never put the blame on anybody else. And yeah, she mucked up in her relationship with Adil. Yes, it was kind of her fault, like she committed the mistake, but he's the one that chose to leave. He's the one that chose to not stay and work it out. Now I think he's leaving and will come back. I do think that this is not the last we're going to see of him, but they both have mucked up this relationship because he didn't stay to fight for it. And it's a messy one in general, just because his loyalties are torn between his newfound sort of beliefs that he's getting and his people and his sister. But she hasn't failed anybody. She is strong. Her running to Raelle, being by her side, giving her that strength, probably helped Raelle survive in the Turim. You know, the witch bomb, yes, that came from Raelle, but Abigail was the one giving her sister every bit of help she could to stay alive. Without Abigail, maybe Raelle wouldn't have had the strength to fight back. We don't know. Abigail is a fierce warrior, a brave sister. The fact that she heard Charvel's voice, and despite knowing it couldn't be Charvel, wanting to believe desperately, I think it just helps show you the mental state she's in right now is not a healthy one for her. Even for, we've seen her kind of, she's doubting herself, and that was almost a chance to fix a failure she'd made. But it was never a mistake that she had made, and I hope this season we're going to kind of see Abigail come to terms with the fact that she is amazing and strong and wonderful, and she's a very talented witch that is worth far more than just producing babies. The urgency is simply because she is the last person able to produce bellwether babies, and they want more of them. But that doesn't mean that's all she's good for, even though I can understand why that would feel like it. If someone started screaming at me to have babies as though that was all I was good for, it would get to me too. So I do hope this show, this season, is going to be Abigail kind of re-establishing her self-worth. Because I think in the previous season, season 1 with Abigail, we really saw her re-evaluate her view on life, because she was a bellwether, and bellwethers are the best, and oh my god, I'm stuck with some girl from a matrilineal colony place, and this girl from the session, and like, oh, she's a wild card, I don't like it. You know, kind of to really valuing different points of opinion, realising that being in the army isn't perfect and it's not everything, and that she's more than just her name because she can earn her way into War College. She's not just going to get in because she's a bellwether. You know, she's had a lot of that kind of growth to do. And I think this season, it's her... She's kind of always assumed, oh, I'm the greatest and I'm the best and I'm always going to do the best just because I am so wonderful. Like, she's been very confident. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it is a bad thing. I think she's kind of been self-confident, and that's been knocked now a little bit because she thought, oh, Raelle and I both have this really special thing, and it was just Raelle. Tally has naturally got a better ability at sight with her, but there'll be areas that Abigail's better than Tally too. I think this season it's going to be really important for Abigail to re-establish her self-worth for herself, not as a bellwether, not as a broodmare, not as anything other than Abigail Bellwether, who is a fantastic, wonderful young woman, and I love her, and I really hope we're going to get to see her start to reach that point soon. Raelle, this episode, she is very... I'm really proud of how far she's come, in the sense that she didn't really... I think if she'd been given the choice, the exemption that Tally had, I don't believe she would have gone to... She wouldn't have gone to Fort Salem. But I do think it's been good for her to find the sisterhood with Abigail and Raelle, with Abigail and Tally, and to find within her own strength. And having this witch bomb thing, being this person that is super powerful, is empowering for her, as long as it doesn't take over. I'm scared of the mushrooms still, but I do enjoy the fact that she was willing to just go up to Aldous. Have you seen her like this before? You know, she's more at ease with her place within the army, because she always was quite resistant to everything about it. She's more at ease with Abigail's mother. She's kind of come to terms with being in the army and it being a good thing, and I think she truly believed every word she said at the testing centre. And then she saw Scylla, and Scylla had the photo. If I was Raelle, I would be thinking, how the hell did Scylla get a picture of me from before? Like, it's not even like it was a picture that could have been taken while they were together. It was a picture from a while ago. So has she been home to see my dad? Has she... Where is this picture existing? And I don't know that she would ever consider her mother was alive, but that is kind of a clue in some ways, because where else would that picture have been? But she saw Scylla, and she's not over her. They didn't really find closure. Now, I think that's partly because I don't think they're over. But my main thing with Scylla is I truly do believe she feels remorse for the people she killed. We saw that when she went back to the mall. But she needs to admit that to herself and admit that to Raelle and say it out loud, and rather than just kind of feel it inside. And she also needs to let Raelle know that she's still trying to do good in the world now, rather than evil. I think they could have a future, but it's going to be a messy one if they do. I hope they do. But I think Scylla needs to repent a lot to earn it. The concept of the testing, I totally understand and agree with, because especially as these girls are targets wherever they are, and, you know, they seem to feel that part of them missing, that they know there's more to them than just what's on the surface. And like the first girl they tested was so happy and relieved. She was sad to leave her boyfriend. I think the testing is definitely a good idea. And to be honest, I'm sorry, if you have a law that said every single person with this particular DNA strand within their DNA has to serve in the army, just because there are people who haven't had it tracked through their family, they should also have to do it too. Why would it be their daughters and not their daughters? You know, Tally's mother doesn't want her daughter to be conscripted. I think Tally may well have volunteered, but you know, she doesn't want that to happen, but she doesn't have a choice in it. You know, it's kind of, if your daughters are witches, then yes, your daughters. They're not going to recruit non-witch daughters. I personally think the Spree's message of anti-conscription is correct, but obviously their methods are extraordinarily wrong. And I think, as with every kind of far-right type of protest, the violence and the agitation comes from groups that are organised, groups that are bad, groups that infiltrate and make it into something more than it is, make it into a spectacle. I'm really proud of Penelope as well. She is growing in confidence, in self-belief, and it's hurting her that her dad can't fully accept her, but it is helping her grow as a person and in confidence. And Tally's been a huge part of that, and I love her so much. I'm really stressed that something's going to happen to Penelope, and then if her dad isn't already joined in with the Camarilla, he's going to be like the VP in charge of the Camarilla. But yeah, it's also stressful because everything's going to boil over. The Camarilla are going to do something so big and terrible that everyone's going to know they're back. The other Spree aren't happy with what's going on with Raelle's mother as part of the Spree, so God knows what they're going to do. It's very stressful. But I'm in love with this show so much. Every episode is just a delight, and when it ends, I'm very sad. And the witch haters are going to definitely say, oh no, it wasn't the Spree. Of course I think it was the Spree. It was one of the cadets. But it was the Spree. I mean, it wasn't, it's Camarilla, but any hatred against this three, who cares? They kill people. This was fantastic as always. I adore Tally with all of my heart. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of Raelle. I'm so proud of Abigail. She held her own in that fight for so long. She was so outnumbered, but she was still alive when they came to get her. If she was just a failure, she would have just said, oh, I'm outnumbered, oh no, and let them kill her. But she fought back with everything she had, and the truth of it is she was outnumbered in terms of numbers, and they had technology that took out a significant part of her arsenal. So one person against all of those people, if it was one member of the Camarilla, she could have fought them off quite easily. I can't imagine what she went through in that moment, not only having somebody taunting her with her family's voice, with the voice of her cousin who is dead, and that she didn't save, and then saying that they were going to take out her vocal cords, which is not only killing her, but also taking away her power, the kind of the symbolism of that moment, and just how terrified she would have been. But then her sisters arrive, they save her. I'm so glad that happened. Obviously that she was there, that Tally was able to just go to her and be with her. But I think Abigail is kind of at rock bottom, but she's going to build up again, and I truly believe that. But that was just so terrifying. Ugh. So thank you so much for watching this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, as with all my reactions, and thank you so much for watching.